Hi, I'm Colleen Mitchell, co-owner of Therapy Day Spa in Ocean Beach, proudly serving the Ocean Beach community for over a decade. We are now expanding our services, so we have massages and facials, but in this episode, you're going to meet Nimue, who is an evidential psychic medium. I hope you learn a few things, maybe get some information or content that helps you heal in some way or provides hope that there is an answer out there, that there is something more to this human experience. And if you're interested in what we have to offer, subscribe, like us, or come visit us. We're in Ocean Beach, San Diego. Please share how we say your name.
It's Nimue or Nim. Nimbles also works. I answer to Nimue as well, but Nimue is how you pronounce it.
And did you select that name for yourself? What does it have a resonance? Tell me about.
I did. So it was my artist name for many, many years, back when I was like in high school into college, and I'm 42 now. So it just started to stick. I resonated more with it than my birth name. And I also have a lot of Irish ancestry. So Nimue was one of the guardians of Avalon. She was one of the first holders of Excalibur. She was Merlin's lover and consort, and eventually got smarter than him and put him into a tree, depending on what fable you lean into. So that's Nimue.
There's many different things that you're able to do. Tarot card reading, Astrocartography, psychic, and mediumship session. Please tell me when I need to come to you for number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
So a psychic reading. If you don't know what you want, if you're like, I just want to have an experience of somebody tapping into something mystical, something maybe a little guidance, maybe a little bit of insight, general psychic reading is fine. You can incorporate mediumship into that. You can incorporate spirit guide meet and greets into that. That's a nice just way to start. A tarot or oracle card reading, and I do combine both, is great to look at current energies and the trajectory of where those energies are taking you. So I get a lot of clients for tarot and oracle when they're trying to make a decision about where to move, where to go next with their work, relationship stuff. Love all those things kind of come through family. I love doing readings about family. So that's more tarot. Tarot's a more visual experience. You're going to have the cards in front of you. I do explain what the cards mean, so there's context for everything. And the evidential mediumship is more specifically if there are loved ones in spirit that you are trying to connect with and have come through.
What is the difference between a psychic medium, and an evidential medium?
It's an amazing question. I'd love to tell you about it. So psychic is kind of a more general term, an umbrella term for different kinds of intuitive and spiritual phenomenon that can be anything from a premonition, a prophetic dream, synchronicities, things like 11:11 showing up for people. A psychic medium is somebody who's going to take that to the next level. They're going to put some intention into connecting with different energies, your spirit guides, your higher self. An evidential medium has developed this same skill to be able to blend with the energy of the loved one in spirit or the fur baby in spirit. It's, as you were saying, ungoogleable. It's my colleague Matthew Tao calls it ungoogleable evidence. So you're getting dates, you're getting things about their appearance, you're getting very personal memories within the boundaries, obviously, of consent of what needs to come through. You're getting what the clothes they used to wear. You're getting their vacation spots. So there is no doubt. It's not just the general message of they love you and they're okay, which they do and they are. It proves that there is consciousness or life after death. And this process can bring, as I think you mentioned, a tremendous amount of, I think, acceptance. It encourages curiosity about the spirit realm and us, moving on after we pass. For me, it's completely eradicated my fear of death, completely and utterly. I fear nothing.
You can now move me off my Saturn line. You got grandma and grandpa and my dog coming through and get past dogs. So you got all these things that are kind of coming at me. It's almost like the buffet of psychic services. How do I not overindulge? And also, how do I not over rely on you? Because I'm supposed to know my path and kind of at my core follow where I'm going. Do I still not have free will?
This is such a good question. In my sessions, this is just me. This is just my sessions. Every psychic is going to be different. I seek to empower my clients in their sessions. I seek to give them tools that they don't have to come back again and again and again. I teach them.
You should come back.
Try the smorgasbord. There is a buffet after all.
Seriously. Have you had the dessert option?
Exactly. It's delish. So I try to use a trauma-informed lens when I'm working with people as well to kind of meet them where they're at. That is not to say I personally get check-ins every other month, even though I do feel like I know I have free will and I take care of myself and I, feel very accountable for my choices. I still like to get a check-in, but just so you're not always antsy or picking up the phone or wondering if you do it right, I really try to encourage clients to understand that accountability is very important. How you think of the world creates your reality. And when I'm doing future readings, it's with the caveat that the future is always moving. The future is always moving based on your free will choices, based on in the moment what you'd like to do. So it's more of like a probability of this is the most likely thing to happen. And usually I only go about 2 to 5 years out, if I'm being honest. So yeah, but the free will is absolutely a thing. That's one of the only laws of reality that I give my entire belief system behind.
Astrocartography.
Astrocartography.
Tell me about that.
Yes, so this is a fascinating take on astrology. I do need to have someone's birth information, so the time you were born, where you were born, and your date of birth. The software that I use projects your natal chart across the globe, like across the map. So you're basically seeing where certain astrological, like ley lines, I guess you would almost call them, are either helping you or hindering you. So the best example of this is I had a client once who had been living on her Saturn line without knowing it for years, decades.
Not her Saturn line.
Not her Saturn
Oh my
line.
God.
No. The horror. So Saturn, the planet of restriction, the planet of limitation, right? And she couldn't get anywhere. And she was like, I've been trying for years to do this. And I'm like, babe, you've been on your Saturn line. So it's crazy sometimes how you can see this in real time play out. So we can help you relocate. We can help you find a great place to go on a vacation for certain things. How to network also shows up in astrocartography sessions.
Psychic moving services. Just call us and we'll have the U-Haul come on out and move you off your Saturn line. Can you talk a little bit about, because you shared this with me, the difference between if I came to you for an individual session for some healing, and then when you've said it's quite profound when there is a small group of us that gather, and what happens in that space, I guess, as we it's almost like you described it of us all getting on the same radio station. For those of you that are older, a radio was a little box that we used to have to tune in, and there were little antennas on it. It was not on the phone. But can you share about what that is like and why potentially I would come to a small group experience with you versus one-on-one and I'll just pay to get my answers?
Absolutely. So I love it either way, but the group field, I call it the group field when there's more than one person involved in a reading. And this is really great, not maybe so much for the astrocartography readings, but more for the tarot, oracle, psychic readings, and the evidential mediumship especially. And I think it's just because it's just adding more light to the room. Like, we're light beings. So the more of that energy that's there, especially if you're with people that you really trust, your friends or your family, it creates a very open and receptive energy. So sometimes it can be something that connects you even deeper to that spiritual experience. It can connect you deeper to yourself, your loved ones that are in the room. And it's also kind of cool to say something crazy comes through the channel, the radio station, and then you have witnesses. So it's like, no, I actually have people that can vouch for me about this. So that can be very validating as well.
And what's interesting that I found in some of the small group sessions, do you experience this as well, is that whoever ends up making it or doesn't make it, that there's kind of either a theme or people are kind of all in the same place, that we're all kind of cooking with the same ingredients for that night. Have you found that we may not all know each other, but we either are in transition or grief or I have no idea what, but in our Saturn line, kidding. That we all are there. Is that interesting how spirit moves?
That is, and it is a thing. I notice this very often, especially in the card readings for people. I'll pull the same cards for the same, different people, but it's the same but different. So think about a song. You're going to have multiple chords, but all of those chords go together and they share notes in the music. It's kind of like that. And I think our vibrations kind of attract chords that match up. We're like walking songs, if that makes sense. So yes, I do see karmic themes. I see life themes show up when the group shows up, and that is always very interesting to see what comes up.